Hi, I'm Pattu from FreeFinCal. Today I wrote a post about the change in AUM and the change in NAV of equity mutual funds from December 31st, 2019 to January 31st, 2020. And I found that Axis Small Cap Fund had increased its AUM by 35%. Its AUM went from 1,542 crores in December 2019 to 2,084 crores in January 2020. Mirae Midcap 2 had registered a similar growth. I'll show you the full list. The reason I'm pointing this out is because whenever there is a buzz that the mid cap and the small cap segment is going to recover or is going to move up, the AMCs through its distribution channels will start pushing funds hard, and then they will make people put money into mid cap and small cap funds. And the problem with these funds is that such huge growth or a very short span of time can lead to problems for the fund manager. Then the AMC will be forced to close down subscriptions, at least lump sum subscriptions, and so on. It could affect performance. We don't know. So I mean that's the reason why it's a little tricky to invest in mid cap and small cap funds associated of AMCs associated with banks, because they are the ones who will keep driving the AUM up. Just imagine if Parak Parik AMC had a bank associated with it, for the kind of performance that they have shown since inception, so for the last 6 years, 7 years, they would have got something like 7,000, 8,000, 9,000 crores very, very easily. But they're still, I think they've just crossed 2,000 crores or so. Let me check that up. And so that's the big reason why I say that avoid AMCs associated with banks, at least for mid cap and small cap segments, because they'll keep pushing this very, very hard. So I have looked at about 410 or so equity mutual funds. I've divided that into two lists of mutual funds that had a minimum of 1,000 crores or more of AUM in December 2019, and that's the first list. So you can see here that Axis Small Cap heads the list with the percentage change in AUM. The NAV for Axis Small Cap increased only by 8%. The AUM increased by 35%. Let me try and keep it somewhere else. So Mirae Asset Mid Cap Fund, the AUM increased only by 2%, but the NAV increased by 2%. The percentage change in AUM is 30%. Kotak Small Cap comes a very distant second with a percentage change of 17%. Axis Mid Cap 16% increase in AUM. Kotak Emerging Equity 14%, and so on. That's a top 25 of funds that had a minimum of 1,000 crores AUM in December 2019. And you should be able to see some interesting numbers here. You can see Parak Parik Long Term Equity Fund here. It has gone from 2,585 crores to 2,784 crores. That's an 8% growth in AUM. This is a very small growth. ICICI Pru Nifty ETF has seen some growth of 7%. There's also I saw one Sensex. Nippon India ETF Nifty Bees has grown by 9%, and also there should be, I saw a Sensex fund. I don't quite recall. Maybe in the other list. So that's this list. You can get the full details in the link I've shown below. And if you look at mutual funds that had less than 1,000 crores AUM in December 2019, then Motilal Small Cap 250 Index Fund grew by 80%. That is from 19.5 crores to 35 crores. Of course, that's expected at that stage of AUM. ICICI Pru Sensex ETF comes next with 67% increase, but that's again backed on past performance of the Sensex. Motilal Midcap 150 grew by 48%. It almost doubled its AUM, and then you can see the other funds in there. ICICI Pru Sensex Index went up by 16%. ICICI BSE 500 17%, and so on. So you can see that a lot of money is coming in into into mid cap and small cap funds, into some index funds, Sensex and Nifty index funds. That's again based on past performance. It will not last too long, in my opinion. So keep an eye out on your mid cap fund, on your small cap fund, on the increase in AUM. Just be aware of how fast the AUM is growing. It's growing at a much higher rate than the NAV. So it's not, the NAV is shown because you can argue that the portfolio has grown because of the market and so on. It's a lot more than that. It's a predominant increase in AUM is because of the money that's coming in. Just keep an eye on this. Other than that, I don't have any great gyan. Don't take any action on this. Just keep an eye out, especially if you're invested in a mid cap and small cap fund associated with a bank. So that's all I have to say for today. Thank you. Bye bye.